started because we realised that there was a chronic problem with young men who don't have positive male role models in their life. That was causing issues which may or may not develop into mental health conditions. But what we also noticed is that young men, when they're going through tough times, tend to harm themselves and harm those around them at much greater rates than young women do in equivalent circumstances. Their suicide rate's higher. Their dropout rate from school is higher. Their use of drugs is higher. Their rates of violence is higher, whether that's family violence or street crime. The incarceration rates of males to females in our youth detention centres is like 9-1, and it's even higher in the adult centres. So Menslink was designed to help young guys in Canberra get through tough times with the least amount of damage to themselves and those around them. What's different are two things. One is help-seeking behaviour. So young men are 3 times less likely to put up their hand and ask for help than young women. And also then their rate of either self or other destructive behaviour is much higher. And we wonder whether that's related to the help seeking, but whether it's also related to emotional literacy. So their feelings are the same, but they're unable to articulate them quite as well, which then goes into help seeking behaviour because they can't exactly say what they're feeling. As a guy, we are brought up to be problem solvers and to believe that we are problem solvers. So putting up your hand and saying, actually, here's a problem in my life that's beyond me. I have no idea how to solve this. That's a brave step. Our society tends to treat men with problems, and in particular, adolescent males with problems, that they are problems to be solved. They don't tend to see them more as a person with a problem. And we can label our young guys in ways that can be quite damaging. You know, that's a criminal, that's a drug user, that's a violent young boy, you know, just like his dad. You know, that's a family violence perpetrator. Those sort of words, those sort of labels can stick, and they are definitely barriers to getting help. Big corporations in particular, just by their very nature, the harder you work, the more important you are. The more successful you are, the more important you are, and the more you deserve a voice. But actually, most people need a voice. We reserve all of our kudos for the men at the top, then that can be quite discouraging, I think, for men and women. You know, if I look at the relationship between, say, Menslink and Everyman, our 2 CEOs, myself and Greg, get together every 6 weeks just to talk about issues in the sector or issues facing, you know, taking a gender-based approach. I do think when I look around Australia, Canberra is really unique in that we have 2, you know, really good organisations that have existed for many decades, not focused on a problem, but focused on a person. And I think that is really, it's really unique. We need to start giving men and young men their own toolkit. You know, we need to give them tools to combat relentless social media, relentless celebration of violence in all of the entertainment that is available to them, whether it's, you know, TV, movies, games, online, pornography, this celebration of violence. And we need to give our young guys and adult men alternatives. We need to get them tools in the kit bag that they can rely on before they do something that might be damaging to themselves or someone around them, before they get to a crisis point. Oops, hang on a minute, I'm going to do this. So it depends when and where you are. If you're at school, we recommend you go and have a yarn to the school student services or the school counsellor and just ask them, where should I go? They'll often have a list of services like Menslink or other services that can help, or they may be able to provide the support directly. The main thing is, if you're a younger person, and hey, in fact, us older guys as well, try and find somebody that you trust who's been there and done that. The value of lived experience is so important. If you're in the workforce, maybe talk to your boss. If you're late at night, call Lifeline, 131114. Really important number to remember. Or, of course, if you're a young guy or their mum, from age 10 all the way through to 25, call Menslink. From 18 up to 88 and beyond, call Everyman.